guys, let's talk about a little recent issue that we've been having fun on Facebook, shitting on D5 teams. And let me talk to you about what my reasoning has been for this little rant going on between me and Cass from Visual Reviews, and a couple other people have joined in and stuff like that. Here's what's going on. I don't know, I've heard about this taking place in other places of the country like Texas and stuff like that. It's now taking place here in Florida. Is this new evolution of the Division 5 team, okay? Back until about a few years ago, Division 4 was supposed to be the rookie division, okay? When you wanted to get your feet wet in tournament paintball, you started off in Division 4, which was rookie division, then you moved up to Division 3 once you got good enough. Here in the past couple of years, it seems to be this emergence of Division 5. Now, I don't have a problem with that, okay? There is supposed to be in paintball, you know, a division or a place for inexperienced players who want to try tournament paintball or get into tournament paintball or form a tournament paintball team to get their feet wet to see what they're getting themselves into, okay? It's very important to have that. Now, I want to make that very clear because, oh, you're just trying to beat on new players. No, I'm not, okay? Many teams that I've coached and stuff like that, I've started them off at a, you know, Division 4 and then moved them up, you know, when they were ready, which usually is pretty quickly up to Division 3, which in my opinion, that's where tournament paintball starts, Division 3. Well, we're starting to see this emergence of teams that only stay in Division 5. And I've got a major problem with that, okay? Major problem with that. You go to some of these tournament series, I've been checking through the APPA. If you go to paintball-players.org, you can, you know, create an ID if you don't have one yet. You can go and you can check through all things. You're gonna see teams with like 10 or 15 tournaments under their belt in Division 5. Okay, I've got a major problem with that. Okay, that basically what we've now set up in paintball is we've got these wolves ready to attack these poor teams that are coming in trying to play that have got 15 tournaments worth of experience underneath their belt. Okay, if you got 15 tournaments worth of experience under your belt in any division, especially Division 5, you're going to be a pretty damn good team, and you're going to absolutely shred to pieces any team who's going to show up and this is their first ever tournament, even if they've got reasonably experienced players, okay? It takes a few tournaments, 3 to 4, for your team to start to gel, to start to learn each other, how each other moves, what bunkers you guys play best, your communication, your strengths, your weaknesses, and stuff like that, okay? It takes a couple tournaments to do that. You've got 10, 15 tournaments underneath your belt in Division 5, you're going to shred apart any team that comes into the tournament series. Now, that's a major problem because what's going to happen now is now we've created this massive roadblock that teams now have to, they're supposed to be able to kind of get their feet wet, maybe bat 500 in Division 5, you know, the first tournament, have a little bit of success, a little bit of failure, but not to get discouraged. Well, you show up to a tournament, and this is your first ever tournament, and you've, in the 6 or 7 teams you're going to be playing up against have got 15 tournaments under their belt in Division 5, you're going to goose egg and you're never going to come back, okay? That's a major problem. I know in paintball, sandbagging has always been a major issue, but with this recent development of Division 5, it's only getting worse. And the other thing it's doing is it's creating amazing job security for the professional players, because now instead of it taking, you know, maybe 3, 4, 5 years of tournament experience before you can move up to Division 1 and Pro, now it's going to be like 10 years, okay? The teams that are on right now, like on Ironman, all the pro teams and stuff like that, I mean, they've got job security for the next 15 years because to move up from Division 5 to Division 4 to Division 3 to Division 2 to Division 1 and then finally into Pro, I mean, at that point you're going to be in your 40s, you're going to be older than me. But, you know, so a lot of people have always complained about the sandbagging. I know that the APPA tried to come up with a system with points and stuff like that to force players up. That doesn't seem to work. I know, you know, there's been a couple other things that, you know, other proposals and this, that, and the other. I have my solution, okay? When you talk to players that are sandbagging, you know, these scumbags that are sandbagging and beating up on the brand new tournament players, they usually want to say, they say it's one of two things why they're playing Division 5, even though they've got 10 years of tournament experience. They're playing Division 5 for one of two reasons. Either A, it's cheaper, okay, which is a valid concern. I know paintball is very expensive. Or B, they just want to win, okay? So it's either cheaper or they just want to win. My solution to curb sandbagging is very simple. Pro teams pay a fortune to play a tournament. We're going to take the PSP, the Mid-Atlantic Open, for instance, okay? I've got what their entry fee was and what my proposal would have been, okay, to fix this sandbagging issue. Now, this isn't just for the PSP. I'm just going to use their numbers, but this could be applied to any tournament series throughout the United States that actually gives a shit about sandbagging, okay? This is my solution. The pro, how it's always been in paintball. Pro teams have always paid a lot more than the Division 4 teams to play the tournament, let's say at the PSP. In my opinion, that doesn't really make sense. The pro teams are the ones that need the least amount of hand-holding, okay? If you go to a PSP event, what teams or what division is going to be hanging around the judges or the referee table, constantly asking questions, constantly needing hand-holding. Where do we go? When's our next game? What time does it start? How far are you guys behind? What happened here? What's the score? Where are we going? You know, this, that, and the other. The pro teams, do the pro teams do that? Not really. Do the Division 4 teams do that? Yes, okay, and that's fine, okay? I've been there, so have many other tournament players. We've all been there. We started off playing tournament paintball. You got lots of questions. Things happen very quickly. I understand that. But should you be charging more to the people that don't need help, or should you be charging more to the teams that do need the help? You should be charging more to the people that do need the help. If you as a company, it costs you more money to handhold this particular group of players, charge them more for that service, okay? That's perfectly legal to do, okay? If you go to the doctor and all they got to do is look down your throat, okay, you're good, and you walk out, well, that bill's going to be a lot cheaper than if he's got to do open heart surgery, okay? A lot of the teams that start in Division 4 need a lot of hand-holding to get through the tournament. In my opinion, the pros should be paying less than the Division 4 teams, okay? We're not talking about a huge increase or decrease in entry money. Pros, as it was at Division or at PSP Mid-Atlantic Open, there was 12 pro teams that paid $2,800 each, okay? And then the Division 4 team, there was 18 teams. This is all race to 4. They paid $2,600 each. And then there was 32 Division 3 teams, which paid $2,600 each as well. My solution to the sandbagging: pro teams would pay $2,200. Division 4 teams would pay $3,000, okay? Now, a lot of people are, oh, that's way too much money. Okay, we're talking about divided up, talking about a raise of $40 per player. Let's say on a Division 4 X-Ball team, they've got an average of 10 players, okay? Each one of those players is going to have to pay an additional $40. That's a case of paint. Not a lot of money. You know what? Tired of paying the extra entry money? Move up a little bit. Move up a division, and you're going to get a little bit of a discount. It's going to cost you a little bit less. So if you just, quote, want to win, and you really enjoy winning against teams that you know you're beating on a regular basis, and you don't want to compete against players on your level, well, then you just pay a little bit more. Now, if you want to pay a little bit more to beat up on newer teams, that's fine. Not very many people are going to have an issue with that. It's just going to cost you a little bit more to do it. Anyway, I put what my solution is to sandbagging down below in the description box. You can download it. You can take a look at it, scrutinize it. And a lot of people, that's an uproar. Tournament paintball is supposed to be expensive. It's always been as expensive. It was expensive in the late 80s. It was expensive in the early 90s, and it's expensive now. It's always been expensive. Competing in anything is expensive, okay? Compete in hockey, mountain biking. I mean, pick 1,000 different sports and say, you know what, I want to start competing on a regular basis in a tournament circuit with this sport. It's going to be expensive. Paintball is no different, okay? And in my opinion, divided up over the course of 10 players, $40 a player, which is the cost of one case of paint to play, you know, to fix this sandbagging issue, is, in my opinion, is worth it, okay? And if you take a look at my numbers, they're going, well, the league is going to make, well, they're going to lose money, okay? They're going to go out of business. No, they're not. If you take a look at how my numbers broke down, the league actually made more money. They made about $3,000 more money, $3,200. So how to fix sandbagging? Very simple. Charge less for pro, charge more for Division 5, and charge more for Division 5, and as players move up, their entry money goes down. In my opinion, that'll fix sandbagging. So, but, you know, I don't know what else to do. I definitely think it's very unethical for players that know they can move up, for players that have constantly been in Division 5 for, you know, 7, 8, 9 tournaments that are constantly placing in the top 3 in Division 5, and they're not moving up. I don't know. That's a pretty big problem, because all that's doing is you're chopping off all the tournament teams that could be coming in and playing. You've got to nurture these teams from the very beginning and move them up. Once you get past that point, get out of fucking Little League and start playing against teams with your own skill level. Thank you.